it, Lord, receive all I have and possess.
Welcome to Listening to Catholic Women, a special series sponsored by the Archdiocese of Boston. Each week, join Bishop Mark O'Connell as he engages in heartfelt conversations with inspiring Catholic women. Together, we'll hear about their faith journeys and how they live out God's call in their lives. Stay with us for an uplifting journey of reflection and inspiration.
Give me only your love and your grace. That's enough for me.
Hello and welcome to Listening to Catholic Women. I'm Bishop Mark O'Connell. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Philomène Péan. And apparently I've been saying that wrong for years.
No,
So
this is great.
This is
Marie
great.
Philomène Péan.
Péan,
See.
which is Haitian Creole name.
No, actually, the origin of my name comes from France.
Oh,
Yeah, especially in French, it's like the La Bretagne, because there were like 3 Péans who went to Haiti, and then it happens that they went to the north. I'm from the north, and then so they established there because in the year of colonization, and then so that's the origin of my name.
wow.
Yes.
Okay, I'm learning things about you already,
Yes.
Philomène. So I am delighted to have you because I love your story, and it is a story of more than one continent. It started in Haiti,
Mhm,
and you were a leader in faith there.
mhm.
So how did you find your faith, Philomène?
I'm so glad because I belong to the most beautiful country in the world, and its name is Haiti. Because growing there, so my mom was five of us, educate us well, and I feel like it's a model because when they said, okay, it takes a village to educate somebody, and I felt like my life resonated that because in our city, which name is Lembe, so everyone knew each other, and Haitians are very hard workers. So, but one thing about our city is like we were like uncles. Maybe like I have to go and greet people, and my mom always say, "Go and greet your uncle," although he was not my uncle. But it's like the respect you have for elderly, and I like that city because people were working and then teaching, carpenters. So Haitians are hard workers. And then faith was also important. So my parish is called St. Peter, and that's where I grew up. I received my first communion and confirmation at the age of 8, and I was elected right away after my sacraments, after being sent by the bishop.
Mhm.
And faith was important because we had we had the rectory, but we have like a big hall. Every Sunday we had something like either faith was not like going to church because we had to go to church, but we had theater, and so helping us to be like a civil leader. Also, um, our people in that Lembe taught us how to be proud of our culture. I'm very proud to be Haitian,
Mhm.
and learn politics, learn literature. So Haiti and living in that Lembe was very important for me. People would go, apart from church, we will go swimming. There was sport, there was a lot of activity. Like maybe those who were Catholic went to mass, but those who were also maybe other religion, they were there. But we were one.
So I understand that your faith comes from your culture, from your town, from your family. It's all mixed together with your parish. But at some point, you took faith for your own. You became more than that, more than just because you were told to, or it was the thing to do. When did that happen for you?
I remember vividly when Jesus called me at the age of 15.
Tell me about that.
And it was like after Mass, because my grandma used to bring me to church every morning. And I kept that maybe that habit. And my grandma used to stay after Mass. It's like what we will call lectio divina.
Right.
But as a just young girl, so I would stay with her praying the rosary, and also silence was important for me. And then it was that moment when Jesus said, "Do you love me? And could you give me your life?" And I think I was just, I feel like I was going to just say, "What?" But I felt like giving my life was not like just continue going to something deeper. And then I was not ready because the way I saw life was like I wanted to be like the pilot or hostess. I wanted to be like the good secretary. Like my age was like I wanted to have my family and choosing my man. I was so elegant, maybe literacy, languages. So I had all that vision as being the most powerful woman. And then I knew when Jesus was asking me to give my life would be, it would be a life of simplicity or lives of serving. So I cried. I knew I cried. But then I think like Peter, and I said, I love you. Because that there was a relationship together, like in that city of Lembe, where I was involved, like in the in the youth group, and then helping, serving. So that was one moment when I said yes.
Yeah.
But then we left that city of Lembe. We went to the north, and it was like in Port-au-Prince, like the capital of Haiti.
Yes.
When I was truly more involved, like there's a group, it's called Legion of Mary.
Yes.
And then it has helped me to maybe to serve people at the nursing home, to go and preach, having the zeal to preach. So it was good. And then I remembered like that group helped us to be like a kind of leader. So at the age of 15, I brought 50 people on retreat, on a silent retreat for 3 days. So not just me, but with a group, but we were just 18, so like teenagers. And then we did it well. So people congratulated us after. So that was good for being a leader in the church. And I continued like that for, when you are involved, like in parishes, and there was the Sisters of Immaculate Conception. There were the same sisters, like where I was educated, like for elementary school. So they saw me and they say, "Oh, you should be like a good nun." So I think I was trapped, but that was a good trap. But then I entered religious life.
Oh, you did?
Yes, and then I spent 2 years because I love it, like prayer life, discipline, and spirituality. That was my stuff. So I truly enjoy being like a nun. But however, after 2 years, that same Jesus came to me and then to say, "You have to leave." I said, "Is that true what I'm saying? Because I'm happy and doing work." He said, "No, you have to leave." And so, with Ignatius, you have to discern. So I went to my spiritual director and discern. And then again, I cried. I cried because in religious life, they tell you if you leave, you're going to be crazy. And then if you leave, is it because you're going to be married? All those questions in my head. So then I decided, and one day I wrote my letter and gave it to the person who was accompanying me. So the whole community said, "No, you are so good. You do well the sisters and people like you. I was leading in my church, like the children, and I was very involved. But they said, and then I said, but they said, why don't you think about it and come back whenever? So I went. It was a little difficult, but I went. And then even when I remember when I went home, my mom saw me, like she said, "Are you coming on vacation?" I said yes. But one thing my mom said, I don't understand because you have not been to church every morning because normally it was to be my habit. Even though I would go to work or school, I would go to church. And I said, no, I need some time. And then she said, something happened. I said, no, nothing. I'm fine. But I said, But I was like trying to hide. And then finally, I couldn't. They said, something is wrong. That's not our Philomène, because they used to call me Fifi. And then finally, I said, I left. And I said, oh, but you should have told us. Then welcome back. You wanted to go for your church, so fine. We didn't want to stop you, but now you are home. And that was so important to be welcome again with my family.
Yeah.
And I spent 3 years, what we call desert. Because in that 3 years, I couldn't do anything because it was so profound. My yes to God for the religious life, I couldn't do anything. I didn't look for a job. Here, they will call it depression, but I call it desert because it was the time for me to pray and then to understand what God was telling me. Somebody saved my life, and that person is Brother Roger of Teze.
Ah.
And that moment, when I couldn't decide what to do, and then people said, are you going to get married? Or And then Brother Roger went to Haiti, and then he was followed by one, maybe he's a Bishop Pierre Dumas. He went to Teze to explore his vocation. And then afterwards, he also invited me to see, why don't you try Teze?
Okay, so let's make up so people know what that is. So Teze
yes.
is a movement in France, started in France, and the person that came is Brother Roger, and you became introduced to this whole kind of spiritual movement from France, which I know you're still still practicing.
Yes.
And so you found your calling in Teze.
So it was there because it's a international community where you can fully live what they call action and contemplation. So I was totally involved, like welcoming the youth, accompanying children, give talks, talking about my culture to people, but also the deep moment in prayer was so important. It's still important in Teze. You cannot go to Teze without going to that deep. And of course, I was accompanied with someone for spiritual direction. And that was the moment. And then God said, come back to life. And my faith came back. And then while Brother Roger, because we were very good friends, he said, Philomène, we would like you to stay more because I went for three months. We would like to stay in France and we can pay for your studies and become, because I wanted to be a nurse and become a nurse, but you can still be in. But I said, that was not what God wanted me to go. God called me to go back to Haiti. So I went back to Haiti without knowing what I'm going to do. But then I felt the call that I deeply wanted, like to be a nurse. So I went back and studied and became like a registered nurse. So very happy. I was the valedictorian of my class. They gave me 5 hospitals to choose because I was the valedictorian. And then I saw like salary and money and having my life. So then one day, that same little Jesus called me back because I went to a village. It's called Lula.
Yeah.
And then we went to with my family, as every Sunday we would go to the beach after Mass. So we said that day we will not go to Mass. We don't have to go to our parish. Let's go and we will find a parish there and then go to Mass and then afterward going to the beach. And then when I went to that village and I said, when it will be church? They said, church, what is it? So it was a village like something like 1,000 people. Only 4 people practice Catholic Church or faith
Oh,
or
wow.
Christian. Only 4 were Christians. And then, so most of the people were from the Vodou. And then I said, so there's no church. They say, no, we have like a small church there, but the priests come once a year. And I say, listen to me. I say, once a year? And then they say, yes. And then, that struck me. Then I went back to that woman. Actually, that woman's name was also Philomène.
Ah.
And then I said, but would you like somebody to help you? And then I said, yeah, fine. Because we have also the Protestant, they do a lot. So if you want, no, I didn't see myself. So I thought maybe I would call the Legion of Mary to come and evangelize.
Right.
But that when I returned home, it was like God say, I want you to go. And then it was like, but I know, so in my prayers. So I took time and I discerned. I went and met with the pastor of that church. And I'd like also to say that during that time, the Benedictines were like my work.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that I went there for prayer and things like that, for spiritual direction. So then I realized that, okay, God called me. So I went there. It was difficult because that was the moment like Aristide came back. There was a lot of unrest and so on. So I started like just going once a week, offer like what they call the liturgy of the hour or the liturgy of the word with people, but we had only 4 people coming, the same 4 people. Then from 4 it became 10. In one point when I told my mom, I said, the church was full. My mom said, how many? And I said, 10. My mom said, forget about it, because like 10 people. But it was for me,
Right.
having 10 people is a lot. So from 10, we didn't have mass. And it was like, for myself, for 1 year spending without a Eucharistic celebration.
Right.
But for myself, I used to go to the monks, like on Mondays, at least to have the Eucharist. But telling people, starting with children, telling about God, developing that. So it became like a growing community. And so trying to get priests coming now after that here, I got some friends, so they came once a month.
Yeah.
At least that was a lot, having once a month liturgy. So we did. And then catechism. I was leading that community. So anything that you think of a priest could do without the sacrament, so I was that one.
So
that leader.
you were the head of the
Head of that
community.
community. And the pastor entrusted that community to me.
Nice.
And of course, from 4 people, it became like 200.
Mm-hmm.
And having everyone involved, like the same you saw when I was here in the US.
Yes.
Like all the children involved, youth.
I've seen you as the head of a community
yes,
before. Beautiful.
yes. Everyone involved, every type of group, so people are involved. And in that community, we build the word, we build the church spiritually, but also physically. And we build like a school, a clinic.
Wow.
Yes. But imagine with no money. When I say
Right.
because I didn't have a salary, I was living with people the way it's very simple life. I was so involved with people that they didn't think they said the reason they knew that I'm literate because I could read the Bible. I'm reading the Bible because everything was in Creole.
Right.
And then they said the fact I read well, so they didn't think I have any other education. So just to let you know. So I was because it's a village by the sea, I was with the peasant. I went to the sea. I went and met people by the beach, and then I went to the prostitute. I was spending my time with the prostitute. I was spending my time with all the men, talking with them. And I went to the nightclub because I wanted to see life. And then I was stopping every day. So church was like, it was action. It was like so good. I would, from the church going to the village, again, Sefilo, they would call me Sefilo. So it was so good. And all those children, having them together. But then all these things, we had prayer, morning prayer and evening prayer. And then, and I taught people to do like maybe lecture divina, and we did retreat once a year. The whole community would go on retreat, silent retreat, and but the same way. Once a year we will go to different place having fun. So the church was fun.
Mm.
But one moment happened after that community was growing, so I had to go and meet the archbishop
Mm.
to talk about it. And our archbishop was Archbishop Serge Mio. After he listened to me, and then he said, "Welcome, welcome. From now on, you have the same right with the priests, because no priest wanted to go there." And I was afraid when they told me, like a young woman, I was in my 20s, to go there. I thought you will be killed because it was so terrible over there. So, and then he said, "Philomène," and then he introduced me to his secretary, also to the vicar general. He said, "Whenever that woman wants me, always give her a place that I can meet with her."
Beautiful.
And that reminds me of the feast we are celebrating today, St. Mary of Magdala.
Oh, we're filming on the Feast of St. Mary. of
Yes, that was very important because that archbishop
Yeah.
recognized me.
Nice.
And another person who recognized me also in my faith journey in that ministry was the nuncio.
The Nuncio de Haiti?
The nuncio in Haiti.
I happen to know who that was. What was his name?
Actually, Archbishop Christophe Pierre.
Who is the current nuncio
He's the current nuncio
in the United States.
in the United States.
But back then, he was much younger.
Yes. He was, he was very young.
And he was the Nuncio de Haiti.
Yes, and
How did you meet him?
I will call him that man. He's
Yeah.
a special man.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment I couldn't find priests to come and say mass because the community was growing,
Yeah.
and then the people started to like liturgy, and I couldn't find. So first I invited the archbishop. One day I said, "Archbishop, we need you. Can you come?" And he came and celebrated with us. I think the same way you did, and
Yeah.
like also
Yeah.
Cardinal Sean. So yeah, he did. And then one day I didn't
So
find.
let's make sure anyone who doesn't know what a nuncio is.
Oh, yeah, sure.
A nuncio is the ambassador to Haiti for the Vatican.
Yes,
So this is an important guy.
yes,
And you said, "Come say mass."
Yes.
Oh, and he did.
yes, because you know how simple is that man?
Yeah, he's beautiful.
When I called, and then I called the nunciative, and then I said, "I'm Philomène, Marie Philomène. I would like to meet with the nuncio." They say, "Are you a religious person?" "No." "Who are you?" "I am a lay person. I'm a baptized." And then, "So what do you need for?" I say, "I want to tell him about what I'm doing, and then I need him to help me." So the secretary went, and then they told the archbishop, the nuncio, and then he said, "Yes, you could come." I feel like he's like a Pope Francis. He said, "Yes, come." And then so for me, like the poor little Philomène, I went to the archbishop and I explained what I'm living and my desire for the church, what we are experiencing, and I want somebody to come and help me. And then he said, "When would you like us to come?" I said, "Any Sunday." And then he said, "Let me look at my calendar." And then he said, "So I'm coming."
Nice.
So when I went to Luli and I told people, and I said, not only that we are the archbishop, now the nuncio, I had to explain who is the nuncio, like the same way
Right.
you did. And then to say yes. But you know what my people told me? Say, "Philomène, if the nuncio comes, one thing, we will prepare everything you ask us to do, because they will bring me food and so on." I say, "The only thing, don't let the nuncio do the dishes." Because everyone who comes to because it was a small house,
Yes.
everyone will come to my house. So we come, we eat, we talk, but afterwards we continued with the dishes. So, and I said, but I told them, I said, "Fine, okay." They said, "We know you." And I said, "No." I listened. So actually, yes, the nuncio came. We had mass, and then afterwards people brought food. And then we invited him to my small house, and then he came, and then he ate. So I remember vividly after he finished, and then he said, "Thank you, Philomène. That was a very nice meal." He met also with my leaders, and then he said, "Oh, maybe I might go to take a siesta." And I said, "No, you are not done." He said, "What else?" I said, "The dishes." He said, "Oh."
So you had the Nuncio of Haiti, who is
Yes.
now Cardinal
Yes.
Christophe Pierre,
Yes.
do the dishes.
Yes.
Good for you.
And then so he came at the back on our backyard, and then I gave him a towel. I gave him a towel. And then we continued because this is life. And then so somebody do the plunging, and then he was like, and then continue asking people questions and so on. And then I remember then after the dishes, because he had to stay for at the end, to the end. And then he said, "Is there anything else?" I said, "No, now you are done." So, and then let me give you, talking about the non-show, he's so great. And that's what I see the vision for the church. People like you, people like him, people like my Archbishop, people like everyone. So maybe I think a few years ago, I went to visit him now in Washington. And then we had lunch. And then he remembered that he said, "Philomène, the only thing today, I will not do the dishes."
I love that.
Because now somebody, so even yourself, you will not do the dishes.
Yeah.
But I'm totally grateful to him because I call him a friend, because he's somebody I could talk to. He's someone I could say whatever I think. He listened to me. And the same way, if he doesn't agree with something, he will tell me. So I call him a friend, and I'm totally grateful for his friendship. I will say all these people who are helping me in my faith.
So we could talk a long time, Philomène, because your story is very intriguing to me. But I think it's important for the time we have to speak a little about the ending of your time as the head of that community, because you're a powerful woman in the church, but more than once in your life, specifically a cleric has come in who didn't like you being so powerful. Is that what happened here? Or can you share how that ended?
Yes. So I'd like to thank God for calling me as a woman in the church. I'm very happy and very blessed, like all other women who are doing whatever they are doing, teaching, maybe being a mom, and doctors, and we women, we cleaning the church, so we are there. However, in my experience as a leader, because that community and everybody understood that I was the leader. Actually, one little joke, this is a true. When they asked one of the girl, "Who is the priest? What is the name of your priest in your church?" She said, "Philomène." Because that's...
You were the leader.
Yes, I was the leader. So, but however, while I was inviting priests to come once a month or many times to help me, they didn't like that, because they said, "Oh, how could you are just a woman and then I'm the priest, and then I don't even have a parish, or I'm that." So most of them plotted to get that position. And they went to Archbishop Mio to see, "Hey, so we can help. We've been going to Philomène's place. We know that we can lead." And then Archbishop Mio said, no, I want her, and I respect her leadership. I'm fine with her. So that was great. But however, there was one priest. While I was just on vacation for 15 days, something like that, because he came many times. He plotted. I think he had plotted a long time ago with people, and then he came with another person from his community, and then one Sunday he told the community that for now on, you don't need Philomène. I'm a priest. Philomène doesn't have money. I have a lot of international people who could help me. I can make this church great. We can rebuild it better than Philomène, and so on. So, and then for now, we will, I'm the one. So, and then, so I will send a message to her that not to come.
Oh.
Yes. And I received that message. So but I cannot say that the priest, but while I was like having that moment of persecution with that priest, because he was very a good one, like helping me with catechism, with retreat.
Right.
So people, he was too involved with me, but he didn't recognize my leadership. And then there I was also being persecuted by people. Like, for instance, the voodoo priest said, I'm taking all his people, because there was a lot of ceremonies like in that Luli. And
So
the
there's
fact,
another church that was voodoo. Is that what you just said?
yes, like it's the voodoo is a religion in Haiti.
I see.
And when before people, before I came to the place, people would go to a very good ceremony. It's called Orara. So every Friday, people would go and that rara, pum, 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 and then people would go out and dance. So then I came, and then I was ringing the bell. Morning, people come for prayer. Nighttime, people come in prayer. And before prayer, evening prayer at 5, we will have our meeting for leaders, choir rehearsal. So people were involved. People didn't go to the rara.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that voodoo priest he said that he needed to kill me.
Oh.
And he did everything, because afterwards he told me, when I was a lot of persecutions, like they wanted to harm me, they came to my house to kill me.
Oh.
But I was, yes, many times I have to leave that Luli, went to Lembe for 3 months, and I couldn't come back. There was a lot of hardship. So finally, and I knew my killer. So that guy gave a gun to that guy to say, get her and I pay you. But when I knew that, somebody told me, and I was trying to go be a good friend of my killer. But most of the time, and I saw the gun. Sometimes he would come to church, and then at the time of like consecration, I would never close my eyes when he was there, because I know those are the moment when you close your eyes, then they can kill you. So I knew my killer. And then, but it was so hard when in Luli, when I was leaving, I didn't have salary, and I have to depend on my mom and go every Monday to go and get food. So that killer was following me. So while he couldn't kill me in Luli, but when I went to Port-au-Prince was vague. So, and then most of the time when I'm leaving, I didn't have a car, so it was difficult.
Wow.
So finally, I said the only thing I could do is to come to the United States, at least to have some peace. And again, that's the moment the leadership helped me. And I'd like to thank them. Archbishop Mio, as well as the nuncio, gave me like a religious visa to come to the United States. So our church is great. We shall praise the leadership. Sometimes we tend to say, oh no, they are not. No, we shall praise how they supported me. So that's what I had to leave my community to come here. And that's why I'm here.
Wow. Well, I didn't know that whole story, and it's a powerful story. And so I'm going to ask the general question, because you lived through such a difficult time, and Haiti has its own politics. And how does one survive all that? And is it the faith that gets you through, or did you ever question your faith?
Still now, I never question my faith, because I felt like my grandma and my parents, maybe I got that foundation from them, and their lives were not easy. And one thing I would like to thank that powerful person in my life, his name is Brother Charles. He's a brother of in French, it's like the Frère de l'Instruction Chrétienne. Because since I went to Port-au-Prince, and I was involved like in that Legion of Mary, so he was my spiritual director.
I see.
So prayer, spiritual direction, confession, and your retreat. Since 15, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
And that's why coming here, those are, it's like maybe the bread that I'm eating. every morning.
Yeah.
So that discipline still keep me. And into spiritual direction, to maybe having someone to listen to me, so then I can cry when things are difficult. And then I for instance, here, I always go once a month for my day of prayer. I'm offering retreat. I'm accompanying people on my 8 days, but people, the place I go once a month since 2003, they know me. Once a month, I'll go for my day of prayer, for mass, confession, as well as my time with Jesus.
Mm.
I see, if you go to that place, people will know that where they find me, that little chapel. So, and that's the time I cry and I talk to Jesus, because it's not easy. I talk to him. Sometimes I just say, I don't understand what is happening with you.
Is he still telling you where to go?
Yeah. But he's a surprising man. But I will tell him what I don't. Him and I, we fight also.
Yes.
We fight. We argue.
Mm.
So sometimes when it's difficult, I say no. But afterwards, I say yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think that's why I think my faith still keeps me, and to all the challenges, the world could turn around, but I know I have somebody.
So here in the United States, you've also been involved in the church. You've led a community of Haitians. You've been a hospice nurse or chaplain. Chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get your doctorate here or in Haiti?
Oh no, in Haiti, as a layperson, when I wanted to study at the seminary, because I was lay, they said no, layperson could not study.
I see.
Yes, so when I got the visa to come here, and then I met with a powerful woman, Aldona Lengertat.
Oh, I know her.
Yes, you know her. Okay, good. So she was the one welcoming me at St. John Seminary and to do my master's.
Oh, the master's, excuse me.
Yes, I did my master with St. John Seminary.
Yeah.
But Aldona was very good. And then I went further to have a postmaster's in spiritual direction, another postmaster in chaplaincy. So I'm a board certified chaplain. And with all those degrees, so I work as pastoral associate in Everett, and now I'm currently working in South Boston. Then I work as a chaplain at Spalding Rehab. And again, as a woman, I shall say that there was where I met with a powerful woman also. Her name is Joan Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
So when she sent me over there to maybe just as a chaplain, they give you 20 hours and just go to people, God is good. No, I transformed that place and I made it a spiritual care department.
Yeah.
With lay people involved, like having Jewish services, Muslim services. And then it was good. I built a team. So I know we don't have a time to talk too much about it. So that was great. And then I work as a hospice chaplain for Tufts. And then after that, I felt like I said, with education as women, they might not hear our voice. So let me go and get my doctorate. So I went to Canada and studied at the school in Toronto.
Yes.
And so at St. Michael, I started my doctorate in ministry. Then it was too much. Then I said, I needed to be more open. And I continued and pursued my degree with Andover Newton School of Theology.
My goodness. And along the way, we met, you and I.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're not shy about sharing your opinion with me.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes.
Before I started this video series, I asked your opinion, and you gave it to me, and you encouraged me. So I think that your story is in no way over as being a leader in the church. And today we only had time to concentrate on the origin, but I look forward to discovering it as you go. what God is telling you to do. So, last question.
Mhm.
There's someone listening to you right now who's inspired by you, who's listened to this whole thing and said, wow, that is something I'm intrigued by. But they may not be fully in on the church. So speak to that person and welcome them or into the community, into the church to refine their faith.
Oh, my friend, wherever you are and wherever you are, I will say try to give some space to anything you will call spirituality. So here in the Catholic Church, we will call Jesus or Mary or the saints, or maybe find your own space. Maybe Jesus is calling you, but you have to open the door. He will not come if you not open because he respects you. So at least say yes. But you're going to say, how are you going to say yes? Come back, come by a church. Just go and look to see what those people are doing. You don't have to, we will not push you, we will not say you have to be involved. So just give a try, go. Or maybe it might be if you see a priest, if you see maybe a spiritual director, go. But you need at least to do the first step.
Gotta open the door.
Open the door. And then God will lead you. And so now you might say, I don't know how to pray. Don't worry about it. But another door you could do, I know you have a cell phone. Start listening to some music. That's another way God could call you.
Religious music?
Religious music, thank you. And then another way, sometimes people might start with mass or maybe go to a pilgrimage, go on a retreat. But come and serve. We have soup kitchen because Jesus is also in the pool.
Yeah.
So he might start with that. But perhaps for you who are just, perhaps you already did that first step. If you want, come and study. You are studying nursing, law, and so on, but we have here the Institute. That's a place for you to know more about your faith. We have Boston College, we have the School of Theology. Go and study. You can just do one day.
Wherever they are, there's some place to study. They may not be in Boston, but there's some place to
this
study.
is true. Yeah, I'm sorry, I talked a little earlier about Boston.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and then also serve the poor, serve the immigrants.
Right.
And then another way I will say, read the Bible. Because that's our spiritual book. And then if you don't understand, then ask anybody to say, I read that. I didn't know. Can you tell me more? Jesus is calling you. Say yes to him. And we are here, the church, to journey with you.
All right. I'm very glad that your journey took you here today. Thank you, Philomène. There's people out there saying, there's so many more questions you could have asked Philomène. But we asked enough to show your spirit. And it's a beautiful, bold Catholic spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop Mark, for being a leader, for being also a friend, and for serving our church.
Peace.
Your love and your grace are enough for me.
Thank you for joining us on Listening to Catholic Women. We're grateful you took the time to hear this inspiring faith journey. Continue exploring these powerful stories with Bishop Mark O'Connell by watching more episodes. This series is sponsored by the Archdiocese of Boston and produced by Emma Lula Creative. Please like, subscribe, and share to spread the word. If you'd like to support the production of this series, visit the link in the description. Until next time, may God bless you.